Louise, peace to you. Shout out to you.
I'll deal with that. We're going to start reading first. I got so much information here. I'm trying to keep myself from getting confused. And what I've done some things on chakras. I keep studying. I'm a perpetual student. When I die, I want a book up under my chin. Don't bring me no damn flowers. Bring me some books. But I get one more piece and one more line before I leave. That's kind of where my head sits on my shoulders. I'm always going to be a student, always willing and learn to know more and more. I read the American nuclear wars called the Bible. Good, okay. So we don't have as many American nuclear wars this week. That's last week.
Oh, you need help with the lottery? What you need, numbers?
To correlate the knowledge that you get from the point of view of those that you're going to be compelled to educate.
Subscribe to the channel first.
And I'm going to mention it every time. You might think you're studying for yourself, but you're not. Somebody out there
Subscribe to that thing.
that you're about to get the answers to. They'll find you. So you don't have to worry about that. The important thing I think we need to know is we don't want to win arguments. If a fellow wants to argue with about what he believes, let him believe.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Shout out to the tribe.
Leave him alone.
Hey, the big chief.
You don't let him throw all that frustrated energy at you. And that's what happens when you argue. You know it. You finally get to arguing. You feel like this. Drain. You give him all that damn energy, on what he believes. And you know, next week, next month, next year, you're going to change that stuff. So don't spend no time sitting there trying to undermine somebody's beliefs. Turn to Revelation chapter 1. Subtle point. This is used as a scholar. I'm going to do it because I found this word intriguingly interesting myself. Greek word, apocalypse, apocalypsis. It means hidden or unknown. It virtually means bringing to awareness that which is unknown. It is not a horrendous event where God has decided to destroy the human race. That's the phobia attitude, this Greek term. It is the apocalypse.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
That was going on.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
The latter part of the 18th century and in the early 20s and 30s.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Luis.
The stock market crash. Everybody who could read at a third grade level and had a Bible went out to prophesy the doom of mankind. The end is near. The apocalypse is here. And didn't have any idea what the word itself meant. So what we're doing is we're diving into the mystery of, and that's what the keys of Morse science gives you. And believe me, you need them if you're going to study in this field, just as you need an Afrocentric perspective about history. If you're going to read our records, as well as those written by and about Europe, so that you can correct that stuff. and not find yourself being conditioned to believe history. History is not a belief. The other important key, when you turn to the book of Revelation, you immediately are talking about the inside. Okay? All the stuff that's going on out here, the storms and earthquakes and the other heavy showers, those are not apocalyptic events. Okay? They've been going on before Jesus, during the time of Jesus, and long after. And they'll be going on until this planet moves into another level of vibration. The planet is out of harmony. It wobbles. Any astronomical book will tell you the planet has a wobble, so it's out of harmony. And that's part of the vibration that creates the earthquakes. The other problem is they're releasing too much high energy in this atmosphere in terms of spacecraft, bombs, and other mutant chemicals. You know, don't worry about cigarettes poisoning. Look at all the gas fumes out there. When you count the number of cars and buses, you don't know where all the lung cancer's coming from. There ain't no damn cigarettes. You know? How many times you walk behind a bus and got glasses with that black stuff? So one you run across the street. So the atmosphere is polluted, the earth's polluted. Until the human race straighten it out. And ain't no angels coming down here to correct all this stuff we've done. We gotta correct it. It's gonna be going on. So let's not get upset when it rains 40 days and 40 nights. Noah is not coming back to do it to us again. Okay, let's jump in here. As I mentioned to you before, when you want to find out what this book is about, you don't go to chapter 1 to find out what the book is about. You go to chapter 5. Okay? Let's start with verse 1. Otherwise, it leads you first believing this is Jesus coming down to John and giving John this vision and revelation of himself, Jesus. And that is not what it's about. Okay? I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a book written inside. Okay. A peculiar term in reference to the book. A book written in automatically sends you inside if you read what's there. And on the back, sealed up with 7 seals. So the correlation, once you get that particular information, then you can go back to Revelations chapter 1 and start off of what you're talking about as 7 seals on the back of and within. Okay, so turn to chapter 1. Churches that are in Asia. And the key here is what even Elijah didn't do his voice. I know. Did not define for the congregation at my first what the concept Asia means. That which God has made. And when we say God, we're talking about the intelligence that creates. We talk about nature, we talk about the process of evolution. Still intelligent, subconscious intelligence on one level, and supreme consciousness or intelligence on the other level. But it's the same mind. Okay, in making that distinction. Part of what we're talking about is what nature does and can't stop doing. What the intelligent high consciousness does, it has the option of divine free will to stop and start, to give and take. We are the subconscious realm of the mind we call God. It's governed by fixed laws that are not going to change. A being comes forward out of that mind if she has free will to choose what she wants to do or not do. Those are the overlords. Jesus was an overlord. Muhammad Rasulullah was an overlord. He was an overlord. He was an overlord. They came out of the same divine mind. Though they had different cultural perspectives, which gives them the status of gods. I'm going to stick around here because I want you to read. I should have this last Friday. I tried to do this. Read the book of Revelation. Come back next time and say, how many read the book of Revelation? Nobody reads it. It's a frightening book if you're not properly oriented, because it sounds almost demonic, you know, or like a curse, or like God is getting ready to get you, you know. Our effort is to intelligently approach mysteries, that which is unknown, designed to become known. There's no mystery fixed for man that was not meant to be unlocked. And I got to go fast and get a lot of material to cover here. Okay, now where we're going to jump to is John chapter 1, verse 9. John, your brother and fellow partaker in the tribulation and kingdom, perseverance, which are in Jesus, was on the isle called Patmos. Now this book helps you with some of the terminologies in the book of Revelation. We don't have any more copies of it, however. So we will have some more copies of the Metaphysical Dictionary. And Patmos represents the vertebrae. Remember, he was in the spirit. That's the other key of what's going on here. You're in the spirit. Come on up front, my brother. 3 chairs up here. Good to see you. When you're in the spirit, your vertebrae rocks. You're stiff. Your body muscles become tenacious. Hips. For all purposes and rationale, you're physically in meditation state. You're physically dead. Okay. But another kind of death. It isn't mind death, because in meditation, you either remain conscious or you become conscious. That's the difference between what we're talking about and the process of the art of dying as opposed to dead. So, this isle of Patmos, I don't even have a good picture, but it would be here. This is the Isle of Patmos. Okay. And again, all the symbology carries you inside your own body. We're not talking about Jesus. We're not talking about John. We're talking about each one of us. This book of Revelation is about each one of us. Okay, get that clear. If I don't know about it here, hollering out, praise the Lord at the end of the class. Jesus is doing just fine. We don't need us to praise him. He's doing wonderful. Okay. I was in the spirit of the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice like the sound of a trumpet. That loud voice or sound of the trumpet is here. So that is the Mulahara chakra. Where you hear the first sound, it sounds like a trumpet. Now, to be remembered scholarly, the old British trumpet was a long instrument that had a deep sound, not a high, Dizzy Gillespie sound, but a low sound. And what the Hindi masters of Yoga report, it sounds like the humming of bees after they drank from the flowers, the nectar from the flowers. That turns them on. And they make this wonderfully loud, vibrant humming sound, which is the sound of the word of God. Is what it sounds like in this. So, we know what a trumpet means when we talk about the 7 trumpets in the book of Revelation. 7 different octave sounds. Okay. Keeping in mind, we're talking in symbological language. Something none of us got in 1st grade or the 12th grade or the 4th year of college, or at the doctorate level. They ain't doing symbology. Okay. So we're into the language of nature, the language of higher mind, that is universal, excludes no group. See? Because we have a facility on the right side of the brain to decipher, unlock symbology. You don't do it with the prefrontals. You let it happen when you bring your attention to a symbol, and your consciousness was just something you didn't answer one day. Like this one day, you don't have to think about it. It just happens in your head. And when you're able to read and pre-send it, that's the way this side of the brain works. It works with symbolism. Oh, thank you. Okay. Just take one and pass it around to this brother and the one in the back there. Did you do one? In the back? Okay. Let's go a little bit faster here. Write in a book.
Hey, how you doing?
What you see and send it to the 7 churches.
Wonderful night, sister.
Write in a book what you
Miss you too, sister. We doing okay? Thank you. We doing okay, sister.
energy, Vita Libra, is considered golden oil, and you can see it if you ejaculate on your sheets. While white substance becomes yellow substance. That's the Vita Libra in your spermatoza and in your ovum. Okay? That's what gives life, animates a living cell or organ or organism. If you leave it up here, some of it, you leave it up here, if it gets back all up in here, you're going to think about it anyway. All up here. I got the time. I'll hold it off. It goes to the brain. Your brain needs that Vita Libra, that substance, to regenerate itself. The brain needs sugar, natural sugar, not white granulated sugar, fruit sugar, and some vegetables that have sugar in them. It revitalizes the brain and lubricates the spinal cord. It takes 24 hours for the body to make an ample supply to lubricate and feed the brain. It takes 72 hours for the brain and its nervous system to distribute it throughout the entire cerebral nervous system. So if you jump in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're jumping on empty. And you don't be doing, did you get off me? You become irritated. And it's not him or her, but your own nervous system. It's going whack, 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 instead of one of those sweet songs where he looks like everything God all look like, and you look like everything the Queen of Sheba should look like, you know? So, understand that. Balance. It's a Queen of Sheba, balance. I'm one piece of what you need. I'm going to get through most of this today. I'm abbreviating this information. This is the thing I'm coming from, essentially. We've got a little left here. I hate to announce it, but we ain't got a copy of the government one from the last one. It's a very, very valuable tool for you as an acting piece. To work with the illustrations are outstanding. The information is excellent. It even has a glossary. And it covers pretty much the whole of it. It's a good study book. This is the one you go from page 1 and go right through it. You read a section and you put it down, then you pick it up a little later and read it again. You're dealing with a lot of old Latin, a lot of Sanskrit information, so it isn't done. You carry your person on the next. The next chakra is the Sadhisthana. Sadhisthana is just above the sacral vertebrae. I think that's called the thoracic area. And they're all interconnected with particular glands. That's one of the key information. I think it was on that sheet, isn't it? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure you all had this. So we're starting at the bottom, though, okay? You see that on the right, the Muladhara. So the Muladhara, right to the gonads and opium. Gonads and opium, male and female. Sadhisthana, adrenal glands, all the glands that correlate with that particular chakra. Now, they call these lotus petals because they tend to blossom out like this. They're not real flowers, but without too much stuff in it. Kind of how they look, but that's not like relative leaves, that's energy vibrating in a symmetrical or geometric form. Okay? There's a camera can get it. Okay? kind of how we look. Don't go into meditation with a preconceived idea of how your chakras look. Because the subconscious will create a form that you like and show it to you in reality. Another mystic said, that's ain't seen a chakra yet. You know, that's, you know, and what you see is where your spiritual centers are developed at the time you see them. You're not looking for, now these indicate in the Hindu script certain geometrical shapes, and they probably do form that shape. Yours, ours may not be developed at this particular time. You're not looking for a shape. You're looking for awareness if your chakras are open. So if you see yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, you have some we're going to do this for the nine, the 9 numbers. But you know something is open inside. That's the major thing, okay? We're not going to try to study all these words, okay?